Hello, 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 and welcome to Thursday Night Live. I'm your host, Dr. Rita Louise, and thank you all for tuning into the show today. And happy Thanksgiving. Happy Valentine's Eve, everyone. And I hope that you either have someone to celebrate the day with, and if not, that you are going to celebrate the day and love yourself. So, as many of you know, I wasn't feeling real good I was feeling terrible last week. And I'm on medication. So I'm a little I'm a lot scattered today and was really having a hard time putting pen to paper. So we are going to have a substitute teacher today doing our opening segment. Which would be me, except not me live. And today, in light of relationships, and I was hoping to play a different one, but no brain, couldn't make it happen. So I decided to share my video about energy vampires because that is a relationship thing. Maybe not a happy Valentine relationship kind of thing, but a relationship thing nonetheless. So here we go. Are you being there? And there's even a title to it, but it's about energy vampires. I think you'll really enjoy it. So let me know what you think, and I will see you on the other side.
We have all been brought up with the notion of vampires. We can easily imagine Count Dracula in his long black cape suckling the neck of a hapless victim. Stories of vampires fill the silver screen. Dracula, Son of Dracula, Blackula, Nosferatu, Twilight, Interview with a Vampire, and Blade are only a few of the many movies that are based on Bram Stoker's classic portrayal of Dracula. Stoker's blood-sucking, shape-shifting, immortal villain, Dracula, is inspired by the life of Vlad the Impaler, the Transylvanian-born 15th century prince. These creatures of the night, in order to sustain their life and vitality, are purported to feast on human blood. Vampires, as seen in movies, may only be fictitious characters. There are, however, real-life, living, breathing individuals who are described as vampires. You may have already encountered one. These leech-like creatures are energy vampires. Energy vampires intentionally, or more often unintentionally, feed off of the life force energy of unsuspecting individuals instead of consuming their blood. They create a parasitic relationship between themselves and others. As living beings, we are each filled with universal life force energy. It is known as chi, prana, and orgone, to name a few of the words that describe this invisible force. Universal life force energy animates us and sustains us. We are able to create and maintain this unseen aspect of ourselves when we are healthy. Some energy vampires are unable to sustain their chi at healthy levels. Their ability to produce this vitalizing energy is depressed or not functioning correctly. They look toward others to support their depleted energy resources, thus boosting their own. This may have occurred because they were violated or traumatized, making it difficult for them to connect with this part of their being. They may discover at an early age how to siphon their shortage of energy off others. Energy vampires can also learn these negative traits if they grow up in an environment where their parents steal energy from them or others. These same children may also learn to become a good host. They are taught growing up how to remain quiet and passive during an energy feeding. There are even individuals who consciously decide to become an energy vampire. Sites can be found on the internet that provide instructions on how to tap into the energy of others. An example of this is the website, The Darkness of the Light. It offers information and tips on how to become a successful psychic vampire. It states, "It is recommended that the beginner, especially those without a proper teacher, feed from people who seem invigorated, or shall we say, hyper. This is the easiest victim, for they seem to radiate energy. Open season for the hungry vampire. After more practice, one can feed off anyone." An energy vampire does not have long pointed teeth or wear a black cape. Most energy vampires are undetectable upon first glance. They appear as well-meaning, normal people. It is only when you spend a little time with an energy vampire that their true colors may be revealed. The goal of an energy vampire is to control your space. They use a variety of ways to manipulate you that fall into two major categories: extroverted and introverted. The extroverted energy vampire may seem highly attractive. You might find yourself mysteriously fascinated by them. They may have a strong opinion about themselves, their ideas, and their beliefs. In a more negative light, their self-serving, outgoing nature may cause them to be stubborn, opinionated, or angry. Whatever form they take, they endeavor to control your energy in an external, outgoing way. Extroverted energy vampires are sometimes hard to detect. Introverted energy vampires, on the other hand, take on a very different form. They are also more easily spotted. They may complain incessantly about their problems, giving you little, if any, opportunity to respond or interact. They may throw pity parties or have a poor me attitude toward life, the consummate victim. Both types of energy consumers may use guilt, fear, anger, sadness, or a variety of emotions to manipulate your energy. Think about a drama queen who can stir up the energy in a room in a single bound. An individual whose life force energy is being drained by an energy vampire will often feel tired, bored, lack motivation, become irritated, overwhelmed, disoriented, depressed, or feel out of sorts after a brief encounter. Hosts tend to be suggestible, have weak boundaries, and are often afraid or unwilling to say no. Many times, they are people pleasers who do not like to let others down. Energy vampires steal vitality from their victims by upsetting their auric field. They knock their hosts out of their bodies, leaving them in a dissociative state. The vampire achieves this through one of his or her well-practiced introverted or extroverted manipulation tactics. We are in a dissociative state when we are not in the present moment. Our mind wanders and we become unaware of what is going on around us. In essence, we space out, thus leaving the door open for the energy vampire to invade. Being the victim of an energy vampire is not all one-sided. The host can get something in return that keeps him or her giving their energy away. The interactions they have might leave them feeling loved, needed, valued, or in some cases safe. Some even find their exchanges with an energy vampire satisfying or believe that they are fulfilling their life purpose. Remember, many energy vampire hosts have been trained from an early age to provide their life force energy to others. The first step in stopping the victimization of energy vampirism is to wake up to what's going on. Are you consistently experiencing one of the symptoms listed earlier when you're around certain individuals? You might be acting as a host to one of these parasitic creatures if you are. Once you identify the threat, steps can be taken to lessen the hold they have on you. As you may recall, energy vampires prey on individuals with weak boundaries and fragile auric fields. Through their control tactics, they interfere with the flow of your life force energy, causing you to disassociate from your body. Taking steps to protect your aura and your energy space will increase your boundaries and make it harder for them to feed. Stopping their ability to nourish themselves off of you can be as easy as getting yourself, as spirit, back into your body. Try closing your eyes and taking a deep breath when you're around one of these individuals. Allow your whole self to ground and your essence relax. This will help you assert yourself and bring you back into your body. Getting back into your body calms and centers your psyche. It strengthens your boundaries and auric field. It will help you to return to the present moment. You can also try crossing your arms with the intention of strengthening and protecting your auric field. Holding up your hand, as in talk to the hand, will also help to define and strengthen your boundaries. If you know you're going to be around one of these energy suckers, imagine a mirror, reflective surface facing away from you, sitting about 18 to 24 inches away from your body. This will put the mirror on the outside edge of your auric field and will work to reflect their ill-intentioned energy back at them. If you realize that you have been a host to an energy vampire your whole life, take the time to look at yourself and your life frankly. Work to resolve old wounds. Uncover why you keep giving your energy away and identify any secondary benefits you might be gaining from these negative interactions. They say that knowledge is power, and with any kind of personal transformation, recognizing we have a problem is 50% of the solution. Our lives are all about choices, and sometimes the choices we have to make can be hard. In the case of dealing with an energy vampire, at times the only choice we are left with is to walk away. We are honoring our energy, our autonomy, and ourselves when we end a relationship with an energy vampire. This is the only way to stop ongoing attacks with some individuals. Intentional or not, energy vampires, unlike their movie counterparts, are real. Their need to feed off your life force energy is real as well. Their negative behavior compromises you each time it occurs. Their tactics for knocking you out of your body and putting you into a dissociative state robs you of your choices and interferes with your ability to live a happy, self-directed life. Are you the victim of an energy vampire?
So what did you guys think? You know, it's interesting. I have not watched this video in a really long time, and I'm like, wow, I'm still saying the exact same things. But I guess it must be because it's true. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Happy Valentine's Eve. And I'm gonna like open up the chat thing. it's a real, so far it looks like a pretty small group, which is good for me. We'll just like hang out and visit. Again, as always, if you would like to schedule a private consultation with me, please reach out to my webpage, soulhealer.com. That's soulhealer.com. And reach out to me. So, again, I know doing the sessions are going to be fine. I'm not worried about that. It was this part that I was a bit concerned about. And so, which is why we had substitute teacher day where we just got to like sit and watch a movie. So anyway, I'm going to go over to the comments. I'm going to say hi, do the reading thing, and let's get the show on the road. But if you have any comments about the video, I mean, there's the video production part, but then there's the message, and I thought it was a really freaking good message. Anyway, just saying. Okay, so Don is number one. Don is number one. And he says, hi, Dr. Rita. I hope you feel okay now. I need a reading, please. Okay, Don, number 3. All right, Don, and this is your card for today. All right, so let's see. Okay, so Don, one of the things that you're showing me is I feel like things have started transitioning again, transitioning in a good way. I feel like you're kind of grounding back into your body so that whatever was going on is minimizing, is resolving. I feel like you are putting it behind you. And my commentary to you is this feeling of kind of self-doubt as to can I get back to where I was? Is this too good to be true? That kind of thing, like just concern, like, am I going to go back to where I was? And my comment to you is that no, we all go through periods. Our very special Deb that comes into the chat room, we share off on bad brain days. Like I can be having a bad day and I'll call her up and be like, I'm having a bad brain day. Thankfully, we have very rarely had bad brain day on the same day, so we can be there and support each other, and it's okay to have a bad brain day or a bad brain. The fact that you're coming back and you're coming back and why is this doing this to me? All right. Okay. All right. So hopefully it won't dump me after all this. Anyway, so it is not something I want to talk about on air, but I'm here, so it's all good. Just very scattered. All right. So Ricky, hi, Dr. Rita. Happy early Valentine's Day. Happy early Valentine's Day to you too. Wishes a. Can I have a number 3, please? Thank you so much. You sure can have a number 3. Uh-oh. I might have to get up and get some lozenges, but we'll see. All right, Ricky. So there's your card for today. Okay, so Ricky, I am feeling like I'm real visual, but I am kind of feeling too, but sometimes it's hard to separate out what the right word is to put with a vision or an emotion, but I get the feeling that something was like taken away from you, or you made a decision to not move forward in an area, but I feel like there's this change that's happening. I don't feel like like a decision change that's happening. I feel like you're okay with the change, and the situation that's riding around whatever it is I'm talking about. Um, but I feel like you don't know exactly what the next step is. And that's creating a little bit of concern for you. And that's okay. You know, sometimes you just have to sit there and feel into the energy and feel into, does this feel right to me? Is this something that I'm supposed to do? Is this my next step? Um, I think the more important thing is that you're not allowing ego to hang on to what was past, which would keep you from moving forward into this new future. Um, and so that's really good. And so just, move forward with open arms, because in that energy and in that open dynamic, spirit will provide. Okay, great. All right. ERRT radio. Hey, dude. Yeah, I don't like missing. You don't know how guilty I felt making a decision a day in advance to not do the show, but I just didn't know that I could make it through. Anyway, so he says, "Can I please get a reading number 3?" You sure can. Don. Okay, so I'm going to jump ahead. Unar, I know you're next, but Don says, "I like the new music." Don, it's the exact same music. I've used that same music for almost 20 years. It's a new video with me. Okay, ERRT radio. I'm back. Again, a little spacey. But I have to tell you, when I'm kind of a little spacey, my readings tend to be there, because whatever little teeny bit of filter I have is gone. All right, ERRT radio, here's your card for today. Okay, and I'm going to throw this out as a question. There's not a ton of people in here, so I'm hoping you'll respond to me directly, but I'm going to read this, but I would really like feedback. But I'm feeling like, I mean, over the course of the weeks, and this is one of the things that I love about doing this show, is that I feel like we're creating a relationship and creating this healing path together. And ERRT radio, we've talked about you really working with letting go of ego and that kind of thing. And when I look at you today, what you're showing me is that you're seeing like this little wall sitting in between who you are and this very deep peace inside that you've kind of walled off from yourself. I mean, I feel like this piece has been there for a really long time. I feel like you've spent a lot of time kind of digging for it and digging for it. When I look behind the wall, it's kind of yucky, and I feel like there's pain back there. I just want to acknowledge that and make you aware of it, especially if you're not aware that you are rarely standing at that wall. Um, so if there's been discomfort, if there's been anxiety and you're not really understanding, it's because this wall wants to dissolve. Um, I think what I want to say to you is, be extra compassionate to yourself, be extra self-loving to yourself. Again, this piece of you has been sitting over there on a shelf, hidden in a box for years and years and years. And when I feel into it on a different level, there's a very toxic taste to it. So there's not just the emotional part, but there's also some biochemistry tied to it. And so, you know, when this thing starts to break up, if you can be patient with it and loving with it, and it starts to break up, there might be even a little healing reaction that comes along with that. And so if you find that you're really emotional and feeling a little bit sick, just might be that it just might be that you've kind of poked a little hole into that area. Okay. But seriously, let me know if that is resonating with you because that came up very strong, very strong. Unar, so Unar and I are friends um, on Twitter X, and just to let you guys know, I just opened a Substack account, and I kind of like Substack. I like it better than Twitter. It seems more approachable. It seems like there's a larger variety of people on there. It's not as fast paced, and so I've been posting to there more. So anyway, because the easiest place to find me is on Facebook, Dr. Rita Louise live on Facebook or Just Energy Radio on YouTube. Um, okay, so let's see. Unar says, I have a number 2 reading. You sure can. Well, and actually, as I'm sitting here talking about social media, let me like pop this on the screen. So Just Energy Radio on YouTube, Facebook, it's Dr. Rita Louise live. On Rumble, it's Psychic Doc. Um, on BitChute, it is Dr. Rita Louise. Man. And Twitter, it's Dr. Rita Louise. And then on Substack, it's Dr. Rita Louise as well. Okay, so Unar, all right, cut. Okay, and this is your card for today. So this is interesting, Unar. It's like I get the impression that there's stuff going on around you that, and I'm going to say it this way, that normally would like irritate you or piss you off or trigger you in one way or another. And I feel like, which is why I'm chuckling, is that there's this drama going on and there's you kind of taking a step back and just going, yeah, whatever, and not getting your energy mixed up in the whole thing, involved in the whole thing. You're more in an observer position, which makes it so that you're not being affected by the energy that's going on around you. I feel like you kind of just don't care, which is okay because I feel like the dynamic that they want you to become involved in has absolutely nothing to do with you. And so your positioning allows you to be happy while they're all in the middle of their drama. Good job. Good job. Okay, said that one. Master Player. Hey, Master Player. Evening, a number 1, please. You sure can, Master Player. And as always, if these readings are resonating with you, please do give me some feedback on them. I would appreciate it. All right, Master Player. So that's your card for today. So, Master Player, I am going to make the commentary that today, I mean, it's interesting because this seems like a really good card, like nice and mellow and, like riding on a horse. But when I feel into it, the impression I'm getting was like today wasn't necessarily like a great day, not an awful day, but not a great day. And the image that came up in the card is more like your fantasy of what you would like to have happen. That you would like to escape and go to a forest and sit by a pond and just have the opportunity to be with you. And I think that's the key piece of this is, maybe you need to spend some quiet time, spend some time with yourself, put on some, like that new agey flute music where you can just chill and discharge and become whole again with yourself and move everybody else's energy out of your space. Okay? All righty. All right. And so Yvonne says, can I get a reading number 2, please? You sure can. All right. All right, Yvonne, and there's your card for today. Well, this ought to be interesting. So it's interesting, Yvonne, because usually when I'm doing sessions for you, it's like you always kind of got something on the burner. And I'm feeling like right now you have chosen to pause. And I'm saying that very specifically. You have chosen to pause. I feel like things have been going really fast and you want the universe to kind of catch up with you. I feel like the pause is very appropriate. It's giving you a chance to regroup, not necessarily mentally, but actually a little bit more physically. Um, and I feel like you've made a bit of a switch, at least in this moment, what you're showing me today, that instead of going, okay, well, this is what I want to do, and this is where I'm going to put my energy, you're working on like just being present and allowing the universe to bring it to you. So good job. And I like that energy for you. It feels really good. And so if this is the beginning of a new Yvonne, then that would be great. That would be great. Christine, how are you? And she would like a reading number 2. Stop it. Stop it. Okay. And this is your card for today. Christine, what do you got going on? So, Christine, I'm not really sure where this is coming from as far as if this is an old energy or something that is transient right now, but I'm feeling like you're having some trust issues and not necessarily trust with yourself, but trust, and I'm going to say with someone else, which really sucks on the eve of Valentine's Day. Um, I just feel like when I look at your energy, I feel like you have kind of backed off your energy and, from a person. Could be a situation. I'm feeling more of a person. I'm feeling like there's some hurt in there on your part. Um, I'm going to make the commentary. I don't get the impression that they know that you're hurt. Just saying. Um, and as we have talked about on this show a lot, maybe in a situation like this, if you were hurt and your automatic response is to back off your energy, then maybe it's time to move forward and make that communication in a kind and neutral way. I mean, backing off is appropriate to regain your space and find your neutrality, but maybe it would be appropriate to communicate to this person what's going on inside in a kind, loving, and neutral, that's the key, neutral way, because who who cares how they feel? It will make you feel way better. All right, Christine. All right, Don says, I like your top, nice color. It says you're feeling better. And Don, I really am feeling a whole lot better. Not 100%, but a whole lot better. Okay. So Don says, these energy vampires sound like my last 2 mother-in-laws and my first wife. Trina, Sabine, and Don. It is very possible. So perhaps you were trained to be a host, and I'm going to say this to you very specifically, Don. So people that tend to have more issues with entity attachments tend to also dissociate from their body, which makes them a more willing victim for an energy vampire. So whether you're with a narcissist of the physical world, whether you're with an energy vampire, which are always narcissists, or you are with an attached entity, it really is all kind of the same dynamic, just in different areas, different formats. Thank you for sharing that. Unar says, are vampires mentally ill? So there are people that go around with the fangs and they think they're vampires, and they go to vampire parties, and they literally will like drink other people's blood. I mean, there are people that do that, which it's right up there with sucking on toes and licking feet. Not something I would ever do in my whole entire life. But they might get off on it. Whether that's mentally ill, I'm not going to judge that. But people that are energy vampires, no, I mean, they tend to be narcissists, and they often don't realize what they're doing. I mean, there is a group that do suck energy intentionally, but for the most part, it's just who they are. And, and recognizing, these people for their behavior. And so I'm going to share this story. So my boyfriend has a neighbor, and his name is Larry. And apparently, Larry talks real slow, and he has a like hickey accent, and talks real slow about things you don't care about. And then we'll talk and talk and talk, and you can't escape. Now, I am sure we have all had situations where we've interacted with people and they're talking and talking, and we're like, la, 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 I think I'll make this for dinner, and da, 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 da. But what's going on? As you're sitting there thinking about making dinner, you are now in a dissociative state. And you, as the host, are allowing them to suck energy off of you while you are not listening to the boring crap that they're talking about. So if you find that you end up in that situation frequently, pay attention to that, because you are letting yourself know that you're a host. Sorry. And if you're the person that's talking all the time and can't shut up and can't let somebody else get a word in edgewise, then maybe you're an energy vampire. Just saying. Just saying. Don says, I liked it. Okay. Hi, Diane. How are you? Thank you so much for coming to the show today. And I will choose for you. And I'm feeling a number 2 for you today. So usually I shuffle 1 through 3, and you can pick. So I'm going to pick a number 2 for you. All right, Diane, and this is your card for today. So, Diane, I am just feeling like you, ooh, interesting. I'm just feeling like you're tired. But I feel like you're tired, and the tiredness is really kind of coming from you taking on everybody else's energy and taking on their responsibilities and doing all of this stuff that isn't promoting your health and well-being. Um, I get the impression that you have a lot of narcissists around you, and you have a bunch of drama queens that, they just want to suck the life out of you. And on some levels, you're letting them. So if you didn't see the video at the beginning of this presentation, turn this back on and watch. I talked about energy vampires in the beginning. The energy vampire video is also available as just an individual video on Just Energy Radio on YouTube. So that's Just Energy Radio on YouTube. And it's also available on my website, soulhealer.com. If you look up the article, Are You the Victim of an Energy Vampire? That video is part of that article if you want to check it out again, because it really was full of a lot of useful information, if I say so myself. ERRT Radio says, great video. Thank you for sharing it. Well, you know, ERRT Radio, I was like, okay, so I was going to talk about toxic relationships and loving yourself, but I couldn't get my brain there. And I said, we need a substitute t-shirt. So I thought I would pull one of my videos. So it's good. Yeah, Master Player, I don't know. I don't know. So don't ask me. Dawn says, thank you. Lots of laughs and happy Valentine's Day to you. Happy Valentine's Day to you too, Dawn. And then ERRT Radio says, I need you tonight. Cool. And Ricky says, what's the name of your tip jar page? Okay, hang on one second. Yeah, so, you know, if you're liking your reading today, you like the video, you can leave me a little something in the tip jar. You can go to soulhealer.com/live, soulhealer.com/live. So if you go to my webpage, there's a tab that says live, and it gives you the opportunity to leave me a tip, you know, and I would love it. And I would love you guys if you did. So anyway, okay, thanks for the pitch there, Ricky. And then ERRT Radio says, wow, thank you. I needed this lesson today. Good. Oops, wrong. Wrong button. There I go. Good. I'm glad that it made sense, because ERRT Radio, I feel like something is going to break through for you. You know, I can't really say like it's going to be today or tomorrow, but it's currently. And again, there's just some very old toxic energy sitting behind that I felt like you really needed to know was there, so that you could like mentally and emotionally prepare for it, because it's just going to come and your body is just going to react. And so instead of sitting there thinking that there's something wrong or you're broken or, you know, the stuff that we think, you can at least sit there and go, oh, that energy must be starting to come through, and validate it and honor it and and welcome it. Welcome it. Hey, Ahura, how are you? It's Dr. Rita. May I have a reading, please? Number 2. Thank you and cheers. You are so welcome. Okay, and this is your card today. You know, it's interesting. I look at these cards, and then some days it's like the card totally makes sense. Other times it's like I get something completely different. So I'm feeling like you are, and the phrase I'm going to say is celebrating a victory. I feel like there has been stuff going on, and there's been some steps forward, and I feel like there's recognition and acknowledgement of these steps forward. And I feel like you are finding gratitude and gratefulness about these steps forward. Now, it might just be a little teeny tiny baby step, but I want to acknowledge the gratitude that you are having in looking at what's going on. I hope that makes sense to you. Okay. All right. So Mike says, I went to a meeting years ago about something metaphysical and was exhausted. But when it was all over, I felt normal again. And it was before I had long COVID, and someone mentioned the energy vampires. Okay, so I'm going to kind of shift that. You know, if you're thinking, oh, well, I went and I was feeling down and like I sucked the energy off of these people. So there is, you know, the physics principle of resonance. You know, so you take a tuning fork that's tuned to the C of key, the key of C, and you bang it. And if you're holding another tuning fork at the key of C, the vibration from the one tuning fork will automatically cause the second one to start resonate. But if it's a different key, like the key of D or E or F, the tuning fork won't do anything. And so when we go into an environment, if people's energy is uplifted, see, like when you all hang out with me and I got good energy and I'm like, let's have fun, you know, it makes it so that it raises your energy because you start to become more in tune and more in alignment with my vibe, with my feeling. And so I don't think you sucked energy from people. I think you became more resonant with the higher vibration that was in the room. And the good part was that you were able to do that and were able to experience some healing from that. Okay? All right, so Unar says, whoa, Dr. Rita, right on. Excellent reading tonight. I can definitely relate. Thank you. I'm finding a lot to laugh at lately. Good job. All right. So Master Player says, right in my face, it is either that what you said or really get into gaming more, which also relaxes me when possible. Cool. Hey, Marco, I missed you so much last week. Am I still frozen? All right, so I don't know how to my screen. I'm not getting spinning wheels. So if I'm again. All right, am I unfrozen now? Who knows? There's such a delay in this stream that who even knows? All right, frozen. I'm still frozen. Don't mind looking at a frozen reading. Yvonne said that reading is spot on. I'm pausing. Thanks so much for the validation. Yvonne said this video is still great and still timely. Thank you, Yvonne. Marco says, be my Valentine, please. Okay, Marco. Christine says, thank you, makes complete sense. All right, I don't understand this, Marco. Maybe Dawn is, oh, maybe, maybe Dawn is not the marrying type. Hi, Denise Smith. How are you? And she says, hi, Dr. Rita. Glad you were able to be here today. Loved your video. Am I correct that controlling people are among the energy vampires? And yes, they are. Some can be more of an energy vampire than another. And I'm going to say it this way, they have mastered the skill of sucking energy, but usually being a controlling individual is kind of the first step, you know, and either they're good at it or maybe not so good at it. But yes, exactly. Marco says, I'm from New Jersey. You all talk to me. Marco says, my hair looks awesome. Thank you, Marco. All right. So Diane said correct. And then Mike says, makes sense. Thanks. All right. So there's like 10 minutes left. Does anybody have any questions about the energy vampires or anything? Because if not, I'm going to fly and just wish you all a happy Valentine's Day. All right. So Master Player says it's fifth time it's happened. So we'll have to look at the video later. Okay, so Master Player, part of me already knows what happened. So I have two um, internet Wi-Fi lines in the house, but because I played the video, I had to tap into the one that goes to my desktop, which is not as good of a line. And so, the choices we make. Anyway, at least I'm here. And if I'm frozen and you only can hear me talk, sorry. Sorry, I'm here. I'm trying. Anyway, so Master Player said, great show tonight. Thank you very much. And Don says he's been married twice. Guys, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Anyway, soulhealer.com. If you want, you can like put a little something something in the tip jar for me. Um, you know, whatever. I'm out of here. I only have half a brain. So anyway, guys, till next time, I'm Dr. Rita Louise. This is Thursday Night Live. Be blessed.